Transition Awareness Breathing. Feeling grounded for both children and parents is essential for healthy living and learning. Join Eartha Powell on this series for tips and tools for creating a harmonious environment for learning. Transition Awareness Breathing will help you and your child find an individualized path to tackle change, promote lifelong learning, and discover new approaches to calmness.
Hi. Have you been to a good movie lately? What was your reaction? The lights in the theater were dimmed, and then they start with the soundtrack, and it seems like the music grows, it just vibrates throughout your whole body, and it stimulates your attention from all senses: your sight, your smell, you're smelling the popcorn, your hearing the plot, hearing the music, hearing people eat their snacks. You can feel the breeze in the air-conditioned theater. You can almost touch. Your fingers get super sensitive because of the 3D image that's right before your eyes. And you can feel the adrenaline starting to stir in your body, and your mind is really sharp. You're not missing a thing. You're getting excited, and you're telling yourself, this is going to be a good movie. And then you watch the movie, and it ends. And at that point, what do you usually do at the end of a good movie? Welcome to Transition Awareness Breathing Podcast. This is Eartha. And I have been to a great conference, and that's how I feel. I want to share information with you that I learned from this conference. It's a lot of information, so I just want to share some key points. But before I do, I would like to thank Web Talk Radio for allowing me to have a platform to bring Transition Awareness Breathing Podcast to you. And to my producers, Mary Lou and Sam, thank you so much for making Transition Awareness Breathing Podcast available to my listeners wherever they go. Now, I am so excited. What I would like to do is to share a couple of points about a conference that I attended. It was a virtual conference, and the information was just outstanding. The title of this conference was called Understanding Yoga, and it was given by Sally Dickerson, PhD. And Dr. Dickerson is based out of New York, and she explained such detail about the physiological effects of yoga and meditation. A lot of the information was new to me, and some of the information, particularly about mindfulness and meditation, it just continues to repeat in what I have learned from other studies. And so, in my perspective, to me, it validates how important mindfulness and meditation is in a healthy lifestyle. And so I want to share it with you. And then I would like to share a meditation practice with you. I mean, that's the point of going to a class. And you could tell when you've been to a great class because you practice what you've learned. And so with the excitement that I have, just like coming from a movie theater, a great movie, I would like to share some of that enthusiasm and information to you. It's my mission and my goal to provide information about mindfulness, meditation, and relaxation that is factually evidenced, based, and scientifically proven. The information, it just is continually to show the positive effects of our body, the decreasing of the cortisol levels and the decreasing in blood pressures. And it seems like giving people like a new lease on life. And I believe that mindfulness and meditation is so important. And this is not in the chronological order that I'm going to say this, but I think it validates how important mindfulness and meditation is that this practice can also touch a part of our being, our soul, that we can grow a spiritual connection. I mean, I think the practice of mindfulness and meditation goes way back, way back, because of the spiritual connection, that we are more than our body parts. I mean, the body parts, our body is like a garment. But inside, the true you, the true me, is encapsulated in our body. And we do what we need to do in this world. And oftentimes, it feels like the stressors and the pressure of life, physically and psychologically and professionally and socially, it just grows. And sometimes it feels like we're being attacked. I invite you to be curious and to change that perspective of the feeling of being attacked, and let that be a sign, an indicator that it is time to respond positively to what we are feeling. Let me share what I'm speaking about. If one has hypertension, and let me emphasize this, and you're taking your medication, and you are truly watching and paying attention, being mindful to the foods that you're eating, and your blood pressure continues to be a struggle, that helps us to understand that something has to be adjusted. It's a symptom. It's not, I can't do this. It's a sign. It's like a street sign, a street light, that something is going on. In the research that Dr. Sally Dickerson pointed out in her research, yoga, because that's her specialty. She's a professional yoga instructor. She's done a lot of research. But some of the information that she passed includes, of course, the breathing, and so mindfulness and breathing is all intertwined. But some of the studies that she has done focused not only on yoga, but also focused on meditation. And the research supports how meditation and mindfulness consistently has an effect, a positive effect, in decreasing blood pressure. And this is so important because so many other diseases, comorbid diseases, can stem from hypertension, from high blood pressure. And so that's why I mentioned it first. The next highlight I would like to share is how meditation stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system. In particular, the parasympathetic nervous system, it stimulates what is called the vagus nerve. And we're going to talk just a little bit about a little bit of anatomy and physiology. Not much, so bear with me. Okay, so the vagus nerve, when it's stimulated, what it's responsible for is our internal organ functions, like our heart rate, digestion, respiratory rate, things like that. So just imagine when we practice mindfulness, and as Dr. Dickerson, her research showed as far as yoga and meditation, it stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which stimulates the vagus nerves. And when the vagus nerve is stimulated, the heart, blood pressure decreases, heart rate decreases, the digestive system, decreases. And so I thought that was very, very fascinating. And the last tip I would like to share, her class was just excellent. And before I tell you about the last tip, Sally Dickerson, she covered a lot of different diseases and the effects of yoga and meditation on these different diseases. And I thought it was very, very comprehensive. And I really appreciate all the hard work and research that was put into her class to bring it to, people like us as we continue to learn how to use our mindfulness practice, meditation practice, and those who practice yoga, our yoga practice, because what is important is when we practice mindfulness, we have to kind of sustain our practice, continue to practice, and that's where most of the positive effects occur, is when it's over time. So it's an encouragement I would like to share with you to keep going. You don't have to, do a whole hour-long session or 30 minutes. Even if you did a little bit a day, 5 minutes in the morning or the afternoon, just find a chunk of time and just continue your practice. Now, the last tip I would like to share with you that I took away from this class I attended was how stress affects our cellular aging process. So this was very fascinating. I mean, maybe, everybody else knew it, but for me, it was so amazing. So yoga and mindfulness meditation was part of this study, and what it showed was that, let me talk about the cellular anatomy for a little bit. So you have these chromosomes, and most of us are familiar with chromosomes. And at the tip of the chromosome are these little caps, so to speak, like a little cap. And the way she described it is like, at the end of your shoestring, you have that little plastic at the end of your shoestring. It's something like that. And this is called a telomere, Telomere. And it shortens, this protective cap shortens with age. Another part of this, the part of the chromosome, is this enzyme, which is telomerase. And this enzyme becomes less with aging. What is so fascinating to me about this is when we are under chronic stress and adversity, this wears on our chromosomes. It stresses our body to the core, literally to the cell, and it causes age-related effects on our chromosomes. So what if we had something that we could do to decrease that effect, that stress effect on our chromosomes? And that is the exciting news, that there is something that we can do. With meditation, the research indicated that there was a study, and it found that there was an increase in the telomeres. That's that cap at the end of the chromosome, and there were increases in the telomerase. That was the enzyme. With the thing of it is, with consistent and sustained practice. It also showed a positive result with yoga, and with practice, it also showed that these telomeres and the telomerase were increased. Isn't that exciting? I just thought that was just fascinating. I mean, it's just so much information, but those are some 3 key tips I wanted to share with you. And so now I would like to invite you to find a comfortable place. You could sit, or you could stand. And I would like to take you through a practice, a mindfulness practice, so that may I gift you with the opportunity to decrease the blood pressure, to increase parasympathetic nervous system, and to increase the telomeres of your chromosomes. In other words, I would like to gift you with a practice for mindfulness and relaxation. So, here we go. As you're sitting, standing, or whatever position you're in, I invite you can close your eyes if you would like, and if you're in a safe position, that you can do that. Or you can keep your eyes open and find a focal point. Just find something in your room or in your environment, and just that is your focal point. You're going to focus on that. Or if you'd like to just keep your eyes at a low gaze. No limitations, no barriers. Now, I invite you to take just a big breath, a deep breath in your nose and out your mouth. Placing your hands by your side, or if you're sitting, just place them lightly on your knees, and be aware of the pressure of your body around your shoulders. Is there any tension? Is there any pressure? If there's any place that's uncomfortable, this is a good time to reposition yourself. If you're sitting and your feet are on the floor, your legs are comfortable, feel your legs and your feet, the position of them touching the floor and touching the chair, and just allow your muscles just to melt, your shoulders just to melt. And if you would right now, just take a nice breath in your nose and out your mouth. And as you're breathing in your nose and out your mouth, be aware of the movements of your body as you're breathing in your nose and out your mouth. Let your shoulders melt, and you can feel your stomach moving as you breathe in your nose and out your mouth. You can appreciate the rise of your chest as you breathe in your nose and out your mouth. And maybe you may be open to the thought of gratitude that you're able to take a second, a moment, to decrease any stress, to decrease the blood pressure, to relax the muscles. Maybe it's been a busy day, a busy week, but right now, we're taking a deep breath in and blowing it away, blow it out. And there's thoughts, there's distractors. We're going to let those pass right now as we breathe in our nose and out our mouth. The distractors await. But right now, you are so important to take this time to appreciate the breath. Each breath is a new breath. Each time you breathe in your nose and blow out your mouth, that is a different breath. You may want to reflect on a place that you've been, a vacation, a pleasant experience, and just capture that positive moment. It's in your mind's eyes, in your file cabinet, in your back. And we're not reliving the past. We're just looking at that positive feeling, that vacation, the warmth, the relaxation, the desire of being able to melt and to relax and to breathe. And I'd like to thank you and bring you to the end of this exercise. Take a deep breath in and blow it out. Wow, and we are back. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that practice. I encourage you to continue the practice and know all the positive things you're doing for yourself and your body. I look forward to talking to you next time. Have a great day.
Be sure and pick up a copy of Eartha's new book, Tab Mindfulness, Awareness and Coloring Activities in a Pandemic World. It's not just an ordinary coloring book. It features 23 illustrations to stimulate thought, relaxation, and creativity for anyone between the ages of 4 and 94. Increase your positive self-talk energy. Unlock new creative paths. Transform your time once or twice a week to create beautiful art while strengthening confidence, building positive self-talk, and sensitize self-awareness. Tab Mindfulness, Awareness and Coloring Activities in a Pandemic World. It's It's available now at Amazon.com.